In this lecture, we are going to talk about how we can read all information about a single metadata record. So in our previous lecture, we have read all the details about a custom object, about profiles, about class. Now there is a requirement, right? You wanted to get the details about all the details about any particular selected metadata. So let's quickly discuss the scenario that we have. In the previous lecture, you got the list of all the custom objects and you are displaying those in drop down into the viewer page or into your ARA component, into your web component. Now once the user is selecting any custom object, you need to display the information about that custom object. So how we will do that? For that, there is a method called read metadata. This accepts two parameters. One is the type of metadata, and second, which is accepting as a list of string, where we can send the API name of that particular metadata, whatever we wanted to read. And the return type for this method is an interface, and that is why based on that interface we are typecasting into the various need or various classes that we wanted to have. In this example, we have taken profile as a metadata. That is why we are typecasting into the class, which is metadata service.profile. But later on we will see if we wanted to get the custom object detail, we wanted to get fs class, how we can do that. So let's quickly see. Again, this is our class. This is the method where we talked about in our previous lecture, and this is the method which we are going to talk about in this lecture. Now this line is something which we are going to use across all the methods, because that is connecting, or that is establishing the connection for making a call out to our metadata API. Now here what we did, the same example that we have just discussed, we are trying to read a profile and the profile is admin. So if you go to your profiles, I will quickly show you. I go to the profile, into the profile section, you will not see any profile which name says that it is admin. Okay, if you go to A, there are 4 profiles, but none is stated as admin. So from where we find this admin? Again, the concept of list metadata comes here. If you read profile here, if you notice that I have refactored some code from the previous lecture just to read one particular metadata. If you read the profile here, try to print the full name, it will show you the name, the exact API name which you need to use there. So first let's try to call that method, pass profile as a metadata and execute it. This will give you the name of the exact API name which you need to use, either admin, standard, guest, or some custom profiles as well. So here you can see that we have got custom portal manager custom. If you scroll down, you found admin. If you just go above that, you will find somewhere standard AUL, you find read only. So these are all the API name which you need to send, and that is what we are sending here inside our method which we just talked. And as we are reading the profile, there is another class called profile inside our fs class. First, before we go to profile, let's quickly talk about the method which is read metadata. If you see that this is returning an interface which is I read result, and if we go to profile, which is our class which we are trying to read, okay, yeah, here. So if you see here, we have got this profile, and under that profile we have got full name, we have got either it is custom profile or not, we have got descriptions, we have got what are all the applications which are visible to a profile, data categories, we have field permissions, layout assignments, you have got login hours, login IP ranges. So all these we can read. So suppose that we wanted to check the login hours for a particular profile, we wanted to check the we can what we'll say login IP ranges. How we can get that? We cannot query all those details using SOQL or normal Apex. So we have to write this. So we can say that profile details dot what is the variable name here? It is login hours. We can just store, and we have got these login hours. If you wanted to get the login IP ranges, we can just copy all these from here, and then we can say we wanted to get the login IP ranges as well here, and that's how we get all those details. And then we can quickly we have got these profile details. we can just put over here, and then we can just put here like say these are login hours, and then these are login IP ranges. Now we have got this. And why we are not passing any parameter here? Because the reason is we are reading profiles and then we have to typecast. That is why instead of doing all those things dynamically, which is going to be advanced label concept, we are just putting it as a static instead of going too much into the deep. Now let's quickly use this method. So we will use read metadata, which is accepting none parameters and then execute it. So we have seen that this code has been executed and it is loading the debug log for us, and the size is 4.2 MB. And if we filter it to see the debugs only, we can see these are profile details, logins are null, but login IP ranges we have got here. Again, this is a different object which is login IP ranges. If you go here into your class, try to find out login IP range, you can see you have got description, end, and start address. So you wanted to print here, what you can do is you can quickly loop through this. So I'll just quickly copy this for loop from here. I'll quickly loop through and I will print the description, whatever the description I have got, and then I will also print start address and end address. So this is end and this is going to be a start. So why I am just looping through with this login IP ranges, because for this admin profile, if you go here into that admin, I have added that as a login IP range. So here I have got this login IP ranges. That's why I'm just looping through these IP ranges to show you that we are able to get the information about that particular profile. So this is about profile, right? We just read the profile. Now it is successfully executed the code. Let's see the debug log and then we'll talk about custom object. So we've got debug only, and this time we'll be able to see that profile name, which is end and start address, right? There is nothing for the description, and this variable name are same. So we did for what was this for the profile? We wanted to have for custom object. How we can do that? We can just quickly replicate the same method and we can say read custom object metadata. Okay, and now here instead of profile we can say custom object, and you can just put quickly account. That's it. We don't need anything else, just custom object, and the class should be instead of profile, now it should be custom object, because we have that custom object class inside our Salesforce, and we set custom object details. Now if you wanted to see this custom object class, you can quickly visit your class, find that custom object, and then go here. You can see that you have got full name, you have got actions override, what are the chatter groups, what are all the details about the custom object, like what is the help, either it is deprecated, description, other things, right? You wanted to see the list views, what is plural label, every single information. Even if you wanted to see the fields, there might be somewhere of particular variable which is storing custom fields, so you can also see that custom fields for your, you have got record type, sharing regions, you have got validation rules, all the buttons. So you can just read all this about the custom object. There are I can't see that custom field, so you can read the custom field separately as well. So you can just read here. Suppose that you wanted to display the plural label, you wanted to display the label, you can just say here it is plural label and it should be custom object dot plural label. This is what we have got, and then you can say what is the label, because here we are sending the API name, right? So we can say that this is the label, and instead of account we can just send some another object here. For that we can just quickly go to objects. Here we are here under setup objects. I have created one object which is currency, so I can just pass this API name over there instead of object, save it, and this time I will execute this method once that class is saved. It is saying that type is invalid. Okay, so there is some error. If you see, this is not custom exact, there is typo mistake, so we will use custom object here, and then we will also say custom object. So basically there was a typo mistake. We just need to save that, and then use the correct method, execute it, and this time we'll should be able to read that custom object detail. So if you see inside this debug only, you will be able to see that currencies is the plural label and label is currency. You might wanted to see, right, either it is allowed sharing, what is enabled for bulk API access or not, either the object is searchable or not, what is the status. You can find all those under that class here, and using all those variables. Some of them are boolean variables, some of them are string types, some of them, yeah, here you can see you have got field sets and you have got all these fields as well. So you can also traverse about the fields, you can get all those fields. Custom field is again another class. You can just go ahead and find that class which is custom field, and then you can use all those details about those custom fields. So that is how you read a particular metadata. We have talked about two things. One is this is profile, and another one is a custom metadata. You wanted to read some other, like you wanted to read Apex classes, you wanted to read Lightning Aura component, you wanted to read Aura component bundle. All those you can quickly read. You can even get the text.